Okay, we're going to talk about Choliambics. The choli part, the chol part of Choliambics comes from the Greek cholos, which means lame. And sometimes these are also called limping iambics or schazons. And choliambics are a meter that is associated with poetry of abuse. And so we're going to illustrate it with Catullus 39 in a minute. But first we're going to review a couple of the meters we already know. So dactyls. A dactyl is long, short, short. And a spondee is long, long. And we've been seeing both of these kinds of metrical feet in dactylic hexameter, which is 6 dactylic or spondaic feet. In Latin poetry, actually probably more spondees than dactyls, despite the meter's name, because Latin is it has more long syllables than short ones. Okay? So we've been doing dactylic hexameters, which is 6 either dactyls or spondees. And remember we said that a short syllable takes about half the time to say that a long syllable does. And that's why it makes sense that a long and 2 shorts, we should be able to sub in a long and a long. We should be able to sub in a spondee for a dactyl. Okay? So today, though, we're going to talk about iambs. Now, an iamb, that didn't work. An iamb is short, long. That's an iambic foot. An iambic metron, though, is 2 iambic feet. So it's short, long, except not exactly, because in this first syllable, we can have either a long or a short. Okay? That is to say, this syllable right there is anceps, either long or short, and we can represent it with an X. So an iambic metron looks like this. Okay? That's an iambic metron. So iambic trimeter is a series of 3 iambic metra. Okay? Where remember, this X is an anceps, either short or long. Okay? And where this last syllable actually can be either short or long, but we're always going to count it as long because of the end of the line that follows. It's sort of like a little rest. If you have a short syllable there, that's called an instance of brevis in longo. A short syllable where you'd expect a long one. And we've seen that at the end of the line in dactylic hexameter and in elegiac couplets as well. All right. So iambic trimeter is 3 iambic metra. Aristotle said in his Poetics that this was the Greek meter that sounded the most like speech. And that's why a lot of the speaking in Greek tragedies gets done in iambic trimeter. Choliambic is quite similar, okay, except here, where you'd expect a short syllable, you end up with a long. And that's why it's called choliambic or limping iambic, because you kind of come down on the wrong foot at the very end. Okay? Okay, let's try and practice with a few lines from Catullus 39. So, this E is short by nature, but it's followed by 2 consonants. So we're going to use this consonant to close the syllable, that consonant to open the syllable. So this is a closed syllable, so it's going to be long. Okay, this A is long by nature. Short, long. The U is short by nature, but again, followed by two consonants. So that's our first metron. This O is short by nature, but it's followed by the D and the C. So long syllable, short, long. That O is long by nature. Masculine accusative plural of the second declension. Short, long, because of the T and the D. Long, and then call that long, and in fact, long by nature. But remember, the last syllable is always going to count as long. So let's make sure we have 3 metra here. 1 metron, 2 metra, 3. Okay, and we can read it. Egnatius quod candidos habet dentes. Let's try another line. Okay. Reni, long by nature. Det us, S and Q. Short, long, short. And now we have a word that ends in a vowel next to that, a word that ends in a vowel preceding a word that begins in a vowel. So we're going to have elision here. That first one is going to elide, and then we just have to figure out the quantity of this syllable. We've got the D and the R, so long. Now this is the genitive singular of the word reus, defendant. And so this is short, long. And now the next syllable is long because of the N and the T. But here something tricky is going to happen. You can remember, I think, that final M's were not pronounced very strongly. So that when you have vowel, M, vowel, you usually get elision of that first syllable. However, and this is only with the forms S and est, you are and he, she, or it is, from the verb to be, you have not elision, but protelision, or to give it its Greek name, aphyresis. Okay, so we're not going to lose the first syllable here. We're going to lose the E of est, and that's all long. All right, so again, here's our 1 metron, 2 metra, 3 metra. And we can read it, if you can see it under all this writing. Renidet usque quaque sad rei ventumst. Okay, renidet usque quaque sad rei ventumst. The next line's a little bit easier. Long, the B and the S. Long, 2 L's. Short, long. Again, we have one of these final M's, but at least we don't have protelision or aphyresis. We have regular old elision. So this is going to go away. Orator, long by nature, long by nature. Short, long, because of the T and the F. Long by nature, last syllable. So let's see what we got here. Subselium corator excitat flatum. And then just to finish off the beginning of the next line, renidet ille. Okay? So there you go. 3 and like a third lines of Choliambics or scadzons. And you can go on and try to scan a little more of the poem. Remember, we already used the renidet ille.